Hello, this is Stephen Troyles. I count the same as everyone else. So I don't think I'm the King of Kings. There are spirit beings that want me to be that. And they tell me I'm the only Christ on the planet. And this is like something that I need evidence for. And so it's what it's done is it's created this situation where I need to learn more about what they're talking about because they won't tell me. Some are less useful spirits than others. Some spirits lie. Some spirits want to put you in pain, and I tell myself suffering is grace. And recently I'm able to just listen to whatever they do and not respond. So my main desire is to not have any interest in responding. No interest in responding whatsoever. I'm not participating. I'm just observing. That's been very helpful. And cursing those that do me wrong. Well, while I'm observing what's going on, if something is not fair to me, I curse whoever's not being fair. Okay, having said that, I went on a walk. I have to get a lot of exercise or I don't feel well at all. And so I'm deciding to get in good shape again. It doesn't take too long, a couple of weeks if you are diligent about it. This was just like a leisure walk, so it really was not vigorous exercise. I have a difficult time because I don't have time to get everything done, so now I need to make another video because of what happened on the walk. The number 13 happened. Years ago, I would tell people that 13 is my lucky number because I listened to Joseph Campbell, and he explains how in mythology, 13 is Jesus' number. There's the 12 apostles, and then Jesus is the 13th, if you want to look at it that way. So then here, I'll just cut to the chase. Who's got more power, Jesus or Judas? God or Satan? Which one's going to win? This is about winning. The best way to win is not try to win. If you're trying to win, you lose. So, this is not my deal. I didn't propose that we have these deities called Jesus and Judas. One kills the other, and the other one sends that one to hell. So anyway, what if they count the same? And no one's allowed to do anyone else wrong. I'm not allowed to force everybody to bend onto one knee and bow to me, calling me Lord, King of Kings. That's not fair. Where's the evidence of such a thing? There's not any. Is there any evidence that Jesus is King of Kings? I say there's not. We don't have to agree on this. What we do have to do, we absolutely have to do this. It's what happens to us next. We don't have a choice in it. Call it fate or destiny. What happens tomorrow is the truth. The truth is what happens to us. So I don't have to go into any philosophical argument and learn lots of previously spoken arguments that you can just do what a lot of the philosophers did, say all these philosophers are wrong. And they're a philosopher. Nietzsche's a philosopher saying the other philosophers are wrong. So hear him out. It's interesting. I'm entertained by philosophy. Right now, the big argument in philosophy is consciousness fundamental metaphysics. I don't think there is such a thing as metaphysics. Something beyond physicality. I don't buy it anymore. I used to. I changed my mind. What I adhere to now is quantum mind. So, quantum entanglement, non-locality. This is science. This is accepted by people that accept their present concept of reality from evidence. So, if I have this inset holder, this side, the reality of everything is that way. Because everything's instantly connected. If I turn it over like that, then the reality is that way. That's how important our choices are. Absolutely, extremely important. And then you could argue that nothing matters. Well, so what's behind that? We're trying to avoid suffering. So people will argue, well, that's hedonism. And I'm going to say, so what? What's your point? Is that wrong? Is hedonism wrong? See, then we could go back into all these arguments on philosophy that's already been made. And we waste our time. I'm not going to waste my time. I want to talk about Jesus and Judas. And what if they count the same? So we're not doing Jesus wrong, we're not doing Judas wrong. So they're like fighting against each other, God versus Satan, and they both count the same. So we're not going to do Satan wrong and we're not going to do God wrong. This is mythology. So when I choose to not do anyone wrong and to care about everyone, now I'm thinking straight. Because all this other stuff is not correct thought. It's thought that is distracting. You're better off silencing your mind. Like Meister Eckhart said, silence is God, meaning all-powerful. So by not responding, you have more power than in participating in the argument. Tomorrow's another day. See where they're at with their argument tomorrow and where you're at by silencing your mind and agreeing to not do other people wrong and to care about everyone. And to protect yourself, because God wants them to learn a lesson. God wants to teach the people that are evil to stop being evil. So curse the people that are doing you wrong. They're evil. They're doing evil to you. They're doing you wrong. Good people care about everyone and they don't do others wrong. We don't need to. Because if we've learned the way to win is to not try to win and to silence our mind. So it's frustrating. In the past I would get very angry. That doesn't help at all. So the way of the world is that we're going to have Yahweh fighting Allah for forever. And will there ever be a day when one of them defeats the other? I don't think so. I don't think it will ever happen. Because we're seeing this happen right now. USA is like taking the position of authority over the world. It's like Allah taking authority over Yahweh, or vice versa. So now the rest of the world is turning against USA because USA is not being fair. They're lording it over others. They're telling the world to get on their knees and worship the USA. So, what might happen is nuclear war directed at the USA from an alliance of the rest of the world. It's a possibility. What's the possibility of there being peace by the USA taking over the world? Is there going to be peace from that? No, there's going to be hatred from that. The USA is hated by the rest of the world to a high degree, and now it's worse than ever. So right now I'm hearing telepathically some other mind telling me, don't give up, Steve. And I can examine that part of what I am that would give up, that would quit fighting. Well, that's how I win, by giving up. It's so perplexing. It's paradoxical. So if somebody's cheating me, I'm cursing them right now. See what I'm saying? They can't win. Because if they do me wrong, I curse them. And they can do the same, and I encourage them to do the same. If I do you wrong, curse me. I agree to not do others wrong and to care about everyone. So, what this results in is a new world order. Whoa, the order of fairness. I used to tell people that I don't care if there's a new world order as long as it's mine, joking around. And so we could talk about chaos magic, and anarchy, lawlessness, or is it a higher law? So in science, there's chaos that came from the study of the weather, and there's order in chaos. The Mandelbrot set is like a really good example of the science of chaos. And it's not lawlessness. You follow the law of mathematics to create it. And there's rules that apply to the mathematical process. So there you go. It's not lawlessness. A simple law is that if you were to jump off of a high cliff, your life would change drastically, really quickly. And you say if you died, then what happens? So a lot of this is about that. They keep us in church with the promise of the afterlife, and we just believe in Jesus' name, and we don't ever die. This attempt for humans to be immortal goes way back. It's in the Rig Veda also. And sacrificing animals to the gods so that we get green grass and high tides all the time. And we never die. We're immortal. So I'm just putting that all aside. That's like an argument I don't want to be involved in. I'm not interested in that argument. I'm not interested in responding to that. So I'm content with the idea that there's one thing that's everything. And it's like math. It's a law, a physical law. Reality is just the reality that we're in. That's us. So you can use the word God if you want. God was me before I was born. There wasn't me, but there was God. And now that I have a lifetime, God is this lifetime. And then after I die, there will be God. So I'm not concerned about me existing any longer. In fact, I think it's preferable to not exist this is the idea in Buddhism. Nirvana is preferable, cessation. So, what is it that wants to continue? Me, my ego. So, it can be an act of self-love from a higher level to not be bothered by death. So metaphorically, I'm not going to taste death like the Gospel of Thomas talks about, because I don't have a problem with it, because God is what is, and that's not going to change no matter what I do. So like in India, they call it merging with the absolute. When a guru passes on, they talk about the guru has merged with the absolute. We're talking about the same thing. Then there's people that believe in reincarnation. I think if you believe things, you'll have a reality in this lifetime that is based on what you're believing. So your experience will be about what you're believing, and you'll have difficulties in maintaining your belief, or you'll have fears that something bad's going to happen. So it's really simple to just think that God is what I am, and after I don't exist, God is what will be. God is what is now. So the idea that I am is like an illusion, a delusion. I really am not a separate entity. That is a fabrication from our brain and keeping the biological units intact so they can create more biological units. So we have all these emotions and feelings involved in this as a result of us having emotions and the power of reason that evolved from nothing. So that's not a problem. My continued existence is not a problem. It's like whatever's the case, I'm going to have to accept. Whatever actually happens tomorrow and in 20 years and so forth. So here we are, 8 billion of us on planet Earth, and we can fight each other and have a whole bunch of suffering from grace, misery, hatred. We can experience lots of hatred and anger toward each other. Or we can not do anyone wrong and care about everyone and curse those that are doing us wrong. And then we're not involved in it. It's just that you have the state of mind, the mental fortitude, the courage to assert, to make the claim, I'm going to curse everyone that does me wrong. I don't care if it's Jesus or Judas or God or Satan or any person or any alien or anything in the universe. If it's doing me wrong, I'm cursing it. So, those that are not doing me wrong, I greatly appreciate. I appreciate people that are not doing me wrong. And I curse the ones that are. And I'm not going to do you wrong. I agree to not do you wrong. And I agree to care about you. Even if you've done me wrong in the past. I don't know why you were that way. See, I don't have all the information. So I'm relying on beings that do have that information. Beings that know what is the right discipline for me and for you. So I'm giving it to a higher power to do the teaching, the discipline, the punishment, whatever word you want to call it. So I'm protecting my life. Maybe I don't know how to do that very well. So like in this effort to protect my life, I end up getting myself killed. This happens all the time. In order to protect me from someone cheating me, I do someone wrong and ruin my life to protect myself from people doing me wrong. Well, who did me wrong? I did. And then you can look at it, your mind can't solve it. It's like sleepless nights, torment, anxiety. How do I get out from under this reality I'm in? I would rather be nothing. So, suicide. No, if I just wait, I'll die. Eventually I will die. I don't need to kill myself. And it's really amazing when I go through an extreme amount of distress. Tomorrow's another day, and then I see an arrangement happening. It's about the dogs. But now there's only one dog barking, and he's like defending Judas. I think Judas is a dog. Now the truth might be that, what is Jesus? A cat? And Judas is a dog? Can they work together? It's amazing how the animals on planet Earth have started cooperating with each other. This was not the way it was when I was young. Dogs were viciously hating cats. And cats were going to find a way to get even with them. And now people have videos, they have a dog and a cat as pets, and they're like not enemies. So we're in a new place, the whole planet. The consciousness of planet Earth has changed. So this is why it's so important to have compassion for everything. Care about everyone. Care about all the animals. And all the plants. Care about the weather. The stock market. Where'd that thought come from? Care about the stock market. Stay tuned on that one. That came from somewhere else. So by not doing others wrong and caring about everyone and everything, whatever it is that develops tomorrow, we're going to handle it easily. Thanks for listening.